So today I was going to go and make a video about running after my bike ride. I went for a pretty uneventful bike ride and I recorded the whole thing luckily, but then...
Damn. Ooh. Alright. I just sprained my left ankle jogging down this trail and caught it on video like a moron. Good thing I'm bicycling. Camera looks okay. Need a little scratch on it. Better be okay, it's freaking GoPro.
So as you can tell from the music, I was thrilled to sprain my ankle, but that meant that I had to accelerate next week's video and make it this week's video. So this footage you're seeing here is me doing one of my favorite things, which is drafting some roadies on the Minuteman. But that's not the only reason I love the Minuteman. I also love the Minuteman because it's a safe and effective way to ride away from cars. But, you know, I can't always ride that same 20-mile stretch at once, and I'm going to get bored pretty quickly. So I'm going to show you today how I actually find places to ride away from cars. So here I'm using Google Maps, which is what I used to use, and as you can see, I just kind of used to go on Google Maps and look for wooded areas with denoted trails and just measure the distance and kind of plot out this path and try to remember it as best I could and find my way using Google Maps on a bike ride. Another method that I still use too is I'll use Google Maps to find where there's power lines, and you can pretty much be assured that you can follow those power lines unbroken until they run out. There will always be some sort of maintenance trail or some sort of trail laid by workers walking around along the paths. It's pretty useful. However, these days we have more civilized tools such as Garmin Connect or Strava if that's your fancy. Here I'm showing you Garmin Connect, and I'm going to go ahead and make just a standard road cycling route. It doesn't really matter what you make. Garmin will show you though where people doing your activity typically ride, how common it is. And from there, you can do what I'm doing here, which is you can just create a ride that you can send to your phone, or you can send to your Garmin or whatever else GPS device. This software is pretty intuitive, and you can either follow popularity routing or do what I'm doing here, which is use a freehand route, which is what I recommend because Garmin will take you wonky directions. So here I am just making a freehand route for today. So I decided to film this and just show you the process of making a route. Here I'm just looking for green space and looking for those green lines on roads, which denotes there's a bike lane or a separate trail or something to that matter. And I'm picking a safe route to go for a ride. It also shows you through forests and such where the trails go. Now this isn't always 100% accurate, but it's a much better way of finding a trail than just going by where the most recent satellite footage shows it is mowed. Using this method, I was able to come up with a nearly 24-mile ride today where I barely had to see any cars whatsoever. In my opinion, picking a route that runs through either low traffic streets or popular streets or just not streets at all, you're basically going on XC mountain bike trails, is, in my mind, the safest way to go for a ride. So let's see how it turned out.
So as you can see, power lines galore, and almost always, like the one I'm on, there's a little trail running through. I found this gravel road. Runs all the way along the power line trail, all along them, so people can do maintenance on them. So if you just want some gravel roads, follow the power lines.
So as you can tell, other than spraining my ankle, I had a blast today, and I highly recommend using this method to plot your next ride. If you're getting bored of where you ride, or you just generally don't know your area very well, I highly recommend looking for green space, using Garmin Connect or even Google Maps to find trails or mode-in areas, and enjoying your surroundings a little bit more. Anyways, this has been Bike Boston. Catch you next time.